everybody, and welcome to Tacobout It Tuesday. I'm your host, Alexandra, for today, and I have the amazing, incomparable, incredible Jen Chia with me today.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Yay, thank you. So we've known Jen for years. When I say years, I mean years.
Not one.
Not one.
Not three.
Not four.
A lot.
A lot. So it's really fun to be able to finally get an interview from you since, we were intertwined from such a young age.
So small, so hopeful, big dreamers.
Yes, big imaginators.
My name is Jen Chia, and I'm an actor, storyteller, graphic designer based in New York City at the moment. I am just living for my craft. I love living in the moment. I recently finished the national tour of Magic School Bus, which was a really great thing. I also do a lot of commercials. I'm a member of Actors Equity and SAG eligible as well.
How did you get that bug bite? How did you see theater or anything involving the arts and just be like, whoa, me? Yeah.
Hey, yeah. I always was very, very extrovert as a child, and I always put on a plethora of shows at home and was always a little too energetic at times. All the time, just I really loved performing anything at home, whether it was like literally just dancing around the living room or singing anything, like telling stories. Like when I was little, my mom would be like, "How was school?" And it was like, "Oh my God, you don't even know what happened." And it's like, okay. Like it was just, they were like so excited. I could talk about like one day in school for like 3 hours. It was a lot. Yeah. So these stories, and I think that's why now I'm such a storyteller. That's like what I love to identify an artist as, is like a storyteller. In high school is where it really all began. In middle school, I loved musicals, I loved movies, I loved TV. I wanted to be that like Disney Channel star, like all of us do. It's like
3-6.
I would like practice in the mirror, like with my like freaking pen, like trying to draw the this is Jen Chia. In high school, I did all the musicals and the plays and thespians and everything that encompassed the high school theater kid. And it was a dream come true. And I met the best people I've ever met in my life, like you and your sister, and really just created some beautiful memories that showed me, wow, I really love this. I really love storytelling. I love to step into a different world, to learn about new people, learn about history, learn about, space. Like literally there's plays about everything. So it was just like storytelling in a different way. Like even reading a play, it's like reading a story in a different way. And that pushed me to keep going and do it in college. And then here I am now, like 29 years old, continuing to tell stories and find any way to create in any format, whether that's like in a show or writing or drawing or doing things like this, like any way that I can keep creating, it makes me feel like I'm home.
Yeah, I totally understand that. It's like this little obsession that you can't stop.
Yes, exactly.
It's just like a little devil on your shoulder, like, no, keep going. It's okay.
Like, I could do a normal job. Yeah. And then you get there, you're like, oh man. And someone's like, has anyone seen this movie or heard? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, like, let's talk about it. Like, I'm in. And it's like, anything creative, I'm like, it's like a little leech.
I know. Yeah. Well, I tried the office-y kind of work my last year of college at NSU, and I was the loud one, so I couldn't really do it. And I was still in the theater department. I was still being called the loud one.
Yeah.
You're very distracting, Alexandra. Yeah, well, I'm not downstairs banging wood and drilling things anymore.
Yeah.
So.
I also literally, the year after I graduated, I went and worked in the admin office at Nova and was like sitting in a cube, and it was like I would like hang my like posters like in my cube and like look at, and every second I could, I was like visiting people in the other cubes, and they were like, you can't do that, like can't do that. And I was like, okay, it's just like, am I supposed to just sit here? Like, this is my life. This is crazy. How do you do this? It's like, not for me. Not for me. Thank you very much. I'll see my way out.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't for me. They were like, they like brought me in one day and they were like, I was like, what, am I getting fired? And they were like, yeah. It was like, okay, cool, thank you. Like, thank you so much. Just like bow and like gracefully leave. Like,
Swan bow.
thank you so much. They were like, we love you so much. It's just like, not the fit, not the fit. No.
When you started doing theater in high school, that was your like, I'm doing this forever moment?
It was, yeah, I felt the bug and I really, really loved it. And I didn't really think that I saw these big stars and I was like, I don't know if I'm there yet. Like, so I really didn't think I was quote unquote good enough to like really, really do it. So I went to college and I was like, okay, I'm going to be a marketing major. Mm-hmm. So I was a marketing major and then I was a theater minor. Mm-hmm. And then I auditioned for a show and I got cast in it my freshman year. And I was like, wow, this is cool, because my high school, which you know, was like, we were so good, but it was so competitive. So like, I was like, I love this so much. I was like, I want a big part. So I got a big part in college and I was like, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
So then I ended up double majoring and I really loved college. So like, I never wanted to leave. And nobody told me that like credits cost money. So I literally just like took 5 million classes of like, and now I'm suffering from that. Thank you so much. But it's like, I took like literally every class I possibly could in theater and loved double majoring and learned so much. And once I took it on as a major, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is something that I can't see my life without. And I started like telling my parents like, oh no, like this is what I'm gonna do, like this is it. And that ranged from like everything. It was like at some point I was like, I'm gonna open a theater company. I have like books that are like how to start a theater company, and now I'm like, I can never start a theater company, like you know, like that would be incredible. I was like, that's not my role. But it's like, for a second I was like, wow, I'd love to like design sets, I'd love to do, like, it's like you just love everything. You love all parts of it. So I knew in some way I was gonna end up being in it somehow. In whatever way anyone would take me, I'm there.
Yeah, I feel like that's how it was, especially with Keegan, that she was just like, she always pushed, which I think was so good because she didn't really baby us. I hate when people baby you in a working environment, and she really tried to prepare us for the real world, really.
Yes.
So, you know, auditioning was harsh. You didn't get the role. She didn't apologize.
No.
She said, work harder, you know? I mean, it was a good push, because then when I got to college, same exact thing happened to me that happened to you. I got the big part and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. You were surprised.
Exciting person. I don't
you're like in your all blacks and you're like, oh, I'm on stage. I was about, okay. You're like, excuse me. Like, I know. No, she did. She really pushed. I still talk to Miss Keegan like literally like maybe once or twice a week. Like she's like, hey Keegan, and we just talk about everything. But she prepared us for the real world, because she wasn't over here making like some 40 people shows and everybody gets a part. Like that is very much so now in high school. It's like everybody gets a part. Like we did not experience that. Like if you're watching or listening, like there was times where the show was like 2 people. And you're like, oh God, like,
oh no,
nothing for me.
I know, you would count the rolls and be like, no, why?
See you next year, buddy.
Right.
And that's how the real world is now. There isn't always a part for you. So it's like, it really showed me, and like getting off book and breaking character. I mean, we were terrified to break character, and now people break character and everyone laughs and it's like, and I'm like, excuse me, I used to get like reprimanded. Like I was afraid, like, are you crazy?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I was terrified. Again, freshman year, the first show I was in, I was off book like as fast as possible.
You were ready.
I never broke character, even when everyone else was giggling and stuff. And I was like, is this okay? Is this
You're like, what's happening? Is this a test? Like,
is it,
yeah, literally.
is this the amazing process of entering here? What would you say is your favorite theater exercise? Yeah. It's always a hard one. Sometimes people pick two. It's okay.
Favorite exercise. I love the beginning days of the rehearsal process, the introduction. So icebreakers are my thing. I love icebreakers, and I think they're so important because everyone is nervous the first day, and everyone is afraid. I'm afraid. Even extroverts are afraid. It's the truth. And I really love. I know it's like cheesy, but I love like zip zap zop. Is that cheesy? I don't know.
You're talking to the teacher of zip zap zop.
You're like, I'm zip zop. I'm Mrs. Zip zap zop. Like,
you are?
No, you are.
Me? Yeah. No, I am. I'm Mrs. Zip Zap Zop. I'm Miss. I'm Miss. I remember.
You're Miss Snap Crackle Pop.
Baby. I am.
Yeah. I love icebreakers. I love freeze.
Yeah.
Freeze is like the best game on the planet, and you will pee your pants laughing. Like it's
just so fun because that's one of the whatever games.
Yes.
When you're doing the icebreakers. So you just you just go for it. There is no prompt really.
There's no prompt. It's your world. It's your world and you're living in it. And it's I love that, and I love one of my favorite things in a game is like names, right? Like making up names. And that's just like it's so shocking, and you're like, listen, Jason, I hate this. Like, and people are like, what just happened? Like, it just really throws everyone back into the game, like really quick, and giving the names, and then later you bring them back. And I'm like, this is gold, man. This is comedy at its finest. I love that. I love improv. I love improv. This is improv. Am I right?
Yeah. You know, since you have done some improv practices and you have done so much theater, how do you think that prepared you for things not involving theater? Do you think it helped? Do you think it changed kind of your perspective of the world?
Yeah. Well, I think in non-theater related experiences, improv happens every day. You know, we're always thinking on our feet. You always have to like fake it till you make it, essentially, in a lot of circumstances. And me, like in some of my normal part-time jobs, like it's like when I'm like a cater waiter, and it's like, and people ask me things, I'm like, all right, yeah, like let me think about that real quick. I got you. And it's just like you have to think on your feet all the time, so it really prepares you to always like kind of think of something to say.
Yeah.
And just like not being afraid. Like I know people like to do public speaking and like prepare elevator speeches and like all that stuff, but like not being afraid to like get called on really quick. Like if someone's like, okay, Jen, and it's like, all right, yeah. And you have to jump into it. And like, that's number one of improv is like not being afraid and like trusting your gut and saying what comes out and not overthinking, or else like you become frozen.
Yeah. I think the trusting your gut is such a huge part. Just because it's, I mean, even like you walk down a dark alley, you gotta trust your gut, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing. You walk on stage, you don't know where you're going. You gotta trust
You don't know. And saying things that come to your head. I remember I had this one audition and I walked in and there was like these big black curtains in front of the door. And I was like, are the lights off? I was like so confused. I was like, and then I realized there was like a slit and I walked through and it was like this bright room. And I was like, that's crazy. I was pointed at it. I was like, that's crazy. I thought the lights were off. What's happening? And they were like, hey, like, I was like, why'd you do that? Like, they thought it was so funny. And I was like, no, I was just like reacting to the blackness when I walked into the room. Like, what just happened? But I've been in rehearsal processes where like people are like, all right, take away the script. Let's just do it. Just say how you feel. And people freak out. when they don't have the words in front of them. Like, they don't know how to do it. Like, and they're like, what do I say? And it's like, they're like, yeah, just say like, as if you were the person, as if you were the character, like just say lines in your own way. And like literally people don't know what to say. Yeah. So improv people kind of are a little bit like better prepared for situations like that when those situations literally happen all the time.
Yeah.
Rehearsal processes.
Yeah, definitely. It's just incredible to see what people do when you give them like that, just that one opportunity to kind of like let it out. And they do the craziest things. It's like, I never knew that Captain Canada would come out of a very respectable corporate team.
Who'd have thought? It's crazy when you don't have rules in front of you, like when you don't have lines in front of you, when you just have like a set of rules, and that's like, okay, this like yes and, or like you can't, what is the question one, and you can't, like, you have to keep answering back in questions, right?
Oh, it's just a question game.
It's the question game. I'm like, what's the question one? You're like, it's the question one. And that's the name of the game. Yeah, like that. It's like when you don't have lines, you don't know what to say, which is like, we don't have lines in real life. So what's happening here? Like, there's a weird correlation.
Yeah. And I've been told in conversation, people are like, it's so awkward to talk to you sometimes. I go, why? They go, because sometimes you just kind of say stuff. And I was like, because there's no, after a couple years, there was no filter that comes in between here and here.
Yes,
so
no,
actually,
it just comes out.
It just comes out. Keegan used to reprimand me for that all the time because she goes, Alex, your face, you gotta hide what's on your face. And I'm like, I can't hide what's on my face. That's what I feel.
You especially, your faces of like shock and like awareness, like just like awareness are like just like, okay, like it's so you. It's like so staple you, and like your eyes like open up really wide and you're like, is she okay? Like, what's going on with her? And it's like it goes right to you. So like, I mean, and that's why you're so good at like characters and like, because it's like, there she is. We're not exactly the most deadpan people in the room. It's gonna be a no.
I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
You do something, I'm gonna react to it, whether you like it or not, people.
Yeah. We just, it's like word vomit. It's always coming out. And sometimes you laugh at your own jokes and you say things. And I have friends who they're like, I have to get used to how you talk because you like make up words. You like, and I'm like, there's rules. What?
Like the dictionary doesn't change almost every day. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. And people are like, you can't say that. That word doesn't make sense. And I'm like, it does now. It's whatever I want it to be.
What are you confoozled by it?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
So sue me. I'm going to talk how I want to walk. Get out of here. It's crazy.
I told one of the kids in the theater department, I'm like, oh, we should play charades. And they're like, okay. And I go, yeah, charades is like really, really fun. It'll be like a good bonding thing. And she goes, is that how you say it? And I go, no, it's charades. But I want to make it more fun for myself because it makes it more fun for everyone.
But they take it so seriously and like really thought that's how it was. And you're like, no, it's just a thing.
It's such a big problem of like, is she joking? Are you joking?
Yeah.
Always. There is no seriousness. When you went into marketing, do you think that because it's also an artistic side of you. Mm-hmm. How do you think that balance of, your theater brain and your market brain kind of mesh?
I'm always thankful that I also studied marketing because I feel like I am my own business, which is like really what any artist is. You are your own business. You're your own boss. You make your own schedule. Mm-hmm. So it really helped me kind of like be able to balance and organize my life. And then with my graphic design company, I realized that artists need graphic design so much in so many ways. Like I was like, no one is making resumes for actors. And that's people are like, I'm helping your work resume, but it's like we have actor resumes too. We have like actor websites too. And there are different formats of like normal people stuff, right? it's like, of course it has to be different. I realized that there was like a gap of a type of artist that could also, like a graphic artist that could help actors. So I was able to have like a whole community of people who needed my help, graphic design wise, and I could understand what they needed since I also am an actor. So it kind of like went hand in hand.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you were able to mesh the two, because you don't really think like, oh, an actor in marketing can do this, maybe like the PR part of it, but not necessarily the technical side of it. But yeah, I think it really was cool to just see it happen, because seeing you since high school and then watching the progression, it was like, oh my god, Jess, so cool. Going through it, I'm like, oh, look, she did something else. Incredible.
Yeah, it was like, and I would do, and then eventually, like I caught it early because like some of my first professional shows, they were like they'd be like, hey, well, Jen like posts about the show all the time, and all these people come, and like, and I would like be like, say things that like it wasn't needed. Like I was like, I can make an Instagram for the show, and it was like, oh, okay, like if you want to, sure, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, I can make like a countdown, and I can do, and it was like all these ideas of like that, like no, a normal person like wouldn't, a normal actor that's like sitting in the audition room wouldn't say. So I was like, and I love social media, and I love taking pictures, and I love blah blah blah. I love all those things. So it's like that goes so well with promoting for a show, with branding, and even actors, we have our own branding as well. Like everyone, like me, like I'm always like, it's like bright colors and like bright fonts and big fonts, and some people are like more cool tones and like cool, more serious actors. So like it's so crazy how like even as people we have like our own brands and our own colors that like go with our personalities,
Yeah, I feel like that's how it was with us in the corporate sense, since we grew up in corporate. I mean, we would go to the chamber meetings with our mom since we were little, and
yeah,
just like it was a no-brainer to kind of mesh the two together, because you find yourself when you go into those events, again, improvising and just trying to make that sales pitch, or listening to people's life stories and how they started their business, and finding out that connection between people, and finding out that the person is really what you're investing in and not the business mostly. It's good.
Yes, completely.
To be able to trust the person. So I think growing up around that environment was like, oh, okay, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, you guys were always helping your mom and like going to grown-up things as children. Like grown-up boring meetings, and you're like, wow, I'm listening to this adult thing. And you're like a little kid, like.
Yeah, we used to, my mom couldn't get a babysitter, so we would sit all the way in the corner in her class at Nova in her psych classes, have her little grapes and her coloring books, and then just listen to her teach psychology. So by the time I was in 5th grade, I could answer half of the intro to psych questions and couldn't.
That's why you guys are so like intellectual and like can speak so well and express yourselves so well, because you know the brain since you were little. Like it's crazy.
Just inside your mind, it's fine. It's always thinking.
All up here, baby.
Funsy question.
Yes.
So if you were like walking down the street and I was like, wow, oh my gosh, who's that girl? Like, what can I tell just by looking at you? Like a fun fact, or like a cool whatever. I mean, you're always cool, but like a.
I come off, yes, very cool, cool girl. I'm so nerdy. Like once I'm a freak. Like I'm as like literally a nerd, like such a nerd. And it's like not even like a normal nerd, like certain things. Like I know like such weird things, and I'm like, yeah, like, do you know this about like this actor, or like something that is like really doesn't matter, and it's like, okay, cool. Facts that like don't really matter. I love my pets. I have a dog named Maui. I love him. I had a hamster named Chalupa, and your pillow reminded me of her because it has a taco on it, and my hamster's name was Chalupa. And then I had a guinea pig in college named Emily, who lived in my dorm, and who, don't find me, Nova. Yeah. She was in my, you're listening. I had a guinea pig in my dorm, surprise. Yeah, but I love animals. It's like kind of random.
Yeah, no. I feel like that fun fact thing of just having weird facts in your brain is such a norm for me.
Yes.
Because I think that, now I'm seeing why people think it's awkward to talk to me sometimes, because you see the reasoning, you see.
Something else is like, I like don't need coffee. Like I don't really drink coffee that much. I try, you don't either?
No, I said you don't.
Oh, no, I don't. And and I've tried to like be a cool coffee girl. Like, I'm like, hey, you want to get coffee? Like I'm in, like, I'll conform. Like, we go to Starbucks, I'll get coffee. We go to Dunkin', I'll get coffee. But I'm not like, I need coffee. Like, that's like, I just wake up and I'm like, I'm here. And it's like, it's a lot. And even like, I've always been like that. It's just, she's always on. She's always on. It's like, I guess
which is such a good quality, because if you're always on, you're always ready for whatever is happening,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, new friends that are like just meeting me now are like, she's such like a hype man. Like, and I guess that's such a good description of me, is that I'm like go-getter, like cheerleader girl, and that I'm like, of course, I was an orientation leader. Like, it all comes together. It all comes full circle that I would be up at like 6:30 a.m.
True. Yeah, even in high school, I would be going for an audition for something, and you'd be like, "You got this. You can."
Yeah. It's such
you practice, right? You're fine.
Yes, exactly. It's like, don't take life too seriously. I'm like, my like staple phrase is always, and like people who know me, I always am like, who cares? Just do it. Who cares? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Just who cares? Just go for it. Just who cares? And it's true. I mean, only you can care. So it's like, just freaking do it, because who cares? That's like literally my life motto. It'll say it on my grave. Like, who cares? Like, crazy.
Like a little winky face. It's just something.
Yeah, it's not like she didn't care. It's like she cared so much that she didn't care what anyone thought. It's like, it's a play on words.
Yeah, doing improv, it just kind of, after a while you go, all right, well, it's embarrassing for who?
Exactly. I think, who cares is perfect with improv.
Yeah. Any final words, any words of wisdom from the great Chia, anything you want to express about theater, arts, whatever you want to let people know?
I would say, even when you're feeling down, always know that something good is coming. And sometimes putting yourself out there, which goes with improv, putting yourself out there can bring tremendous, amazing things. I have a lot of stories that probably, like, we could stay on here forever. I could like have a sleepover over here. Like, I have a lot of stories that I did something that I didn't want to do or was afraid to do, and something amazing came out of it. So many times. So I would say, like, never be afraid, and always, if it's gonna benefit you, like, take it, and don't hold yourself back because you're just wasting time. Like there's no reason. You're never gonna feel 100% prepared for it. Like, it's like the truest thing. Like, I was terrified to move to New York City. I was terrified. Like, I was so scared of so many things, but you have to do it, or you really never will, because you will continue to be scared forever. Because it's good to always turn that fear into drive. That's what I always turn my fear into drive, and turn my fear into excitement, and that, like, really, and it helps, and it makes it positive. Like, always flipping it, because fear, you really can push it and be like, no, this is excitement. Like, I'm excited for this audition. I'm not like scared. I'm nervous in a good way, so that always, it helps to look at things like that. That's how I live my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned that. I mean, at Nova, it's just like those nervous butterflies are a good thing. Like you're not afraid. It's just that your adrenaline's like woo. So
It's a good thing. It's like it means you really love it. It means
Yeah.
you really, really love something.
Yeah, definitely.
It's that feeling of when you're on stage or when you're writing or when you're doing a show or when you're doing anything that is your art's calling, that feeling, that's what you want. So, you got to go for it.
Yeah, we could talk for hours about this. Anything you want to promote or anything in case if anyone sees you and they're like, wow, I want to work with that chick, Well,
I love new works. I love play readings. I participate in a lot of like new workshops and readings in New York. I love, I think in a non-actor role, I would love to produce. Like especially for like TV, I love like to see a world and I kind of can see it in my head and brainstorm about it. I love to produce. I love, I'm also, like I said, a graphic designer. So I have www.genchiacreative is my website and portfolio. And I do custom logos, merchandise, branding, and illustrations, which is something that has just become popular in the world. So you can also check out on Instagram at Chia Creative. I also have a sticker shop on Etsy called Chia Pet Press, which recently has like been selling out because Schitt's Creek won all the Emmys, and I have Schitt's Creek stickers, and I put them up and they sell out. It's so crazy, but it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah. That's me. That's your girl.
Anything about Chia is going to be linked down below in the description if you're watching this through YouTube.
And if anyone ever needs if you're a new artist entering this crazy world, I know it's really difficult to find good advice and find guidance of someone who is currently doing it and in the business and living every day as a working actor. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to help out with any advice that I can. It's my normal actor website is genchia.com as well, and on Instagram genchia.
Woo! Always helping, always hyping, Should get this shirt. Always helping, always hyping.
That's me. That should be my phrase. That's like literally me. It's like, there she is. It's like, whoa! And like she popped out of nowhere.
Like a shining star. Just
exactly. Like, yeah.
So thank you so much for doing this interview today and joining us on Tacobout It Tuesday. Again, everything she will be linked down below. Please go follow her and support your artists. She was a local Floridian, so if you're in Florida here.
Ooh, 954, baby.
Yeah. So if you would like to see any other Tacobout It Tuesdays, you can go through our YouTube channel and you can subscribe, you can like it, you can share. Sharing is caring. This is Improv is also offering virtual classes for improvisation, writing, corporate team building, and personalized classes. So go to www.com and sign up today. We also have a podcast called This is Legends of Yesterday, where we talk about history, mysteries, and ghost stories of Florida. You can listen to that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're also on Anchor.com. So I hope you have an amazing, beautiful, and glorious rest of your Taco Tuesday. Eat some tacos. Have a glorious rest of your week. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye.